court order to arrest the Inec chairman with immediate effect as a vow to expose Tinubu out of office. Yes, the Inec chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has finally met his end as the court order for his immediate arrest after his handover to a new acting Inec chairman. I told the people yesterday that I was doing this broadcast that look, this guy is not coming back. After his handover, this is where he will be going. And now look at it. My people, sure you see what we have been saying. You see what we have been telling people about leaders like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that you don't toy with, that you don't do things with. And that is why I was just pitying and Kenya government that was doing things with them. Well, thank God Kenya have realized, but they realized so late. Now, Alexander Stubb of Finland, the Finland president, is the one that have entered into their trap. Now, see what is about to happen. This is a big mess to the Inec chairman. But I'll tell you that he deserves that very mess. Make the mess smell with him. Hey, immediate arrest of the Inec chairman. See how he fooled himself and handed over everything to an acting minister and chairman. Anyway, I'll be taking you to the video for you to get a full gist of the information as more of these will be coming. Watch this, please, my dear listeners.
3 elections and the reforms were called for. The National Assembly has not passed them. As we speak, we're already at the end of the year. 2026, no National Assembly will look at those reforms. And when the National Assembly looks at those reforms, even if they look at the reforms and they send it forward, President Tinubu can just toss it and say they should go back and take it back and look at it again, just like President Buhari did. No president will sign reforms that might hamper his own electoral prospects. We saw President Buhari do it in 2019. And I predict to you this morning that 2027 elections will just be like 2023 elections, even way worse. You can mark my words down for that, because we have not seen these reforms. As regards the minister resigning, today I would like to give kudos to the spirit of journalism. What true journalism is always about, not sentiments, which separates the wheat from the chaff. And I would like to give kudos this morning to Samuel Ogudikwe's outfit, the People's Gazette. I first went on the story and raised alarm. In fact, even called out the security authorities that they passed a man in ministerial screening that had forged certificates. Yes, a lot of people are quoting People's Gazette's the response that was given by the registrar to People's Gazette, which the response has now been nullified. But there's also a backstory to that, because we all know. And the registrar has now written again to show that the man didn't actually, graduate from the school. And the VC also for standing tall, although a lot of people have said there's a political inclination to it. But I think what also nailed it was the work of Premium Times. And I'm going to give due commendation to the likes of Majid and his crew today for the immense work they did as regards that. And we laid out the story bare. So the credit for me goes to People's Gazette and Premium Times, for the work they did. But I think what also nailed it was a document that came out yesterday showing when the school wrote to him that MCB for something, virology course, he will carry it over because he didn't pass it. And that letter was around late 1985. And he responded to that letter in his own words. And these were documents released by the university showing that MCB course, he was going to write the exam in June 1986. So there was no way when he wrote a letter that he was going to write the exam in June 1986. And he claimed his NYC certificate that his NYC was from 1985, I think April, so about 1986. But there was no way he was going to be able to attribute that, because as of 1986, based on his own letter he wrote, he was supposed to be writing his final exam in June 1986. And all the arguments his spokespeople were making was already falling flat on his feet. And I'm sure the minister had to take the high road. He did the honorable thing. He took it and he resigned and he turned out his resignation. But that should not be the end of the case. There should be more investigations. And with due respect, we'd like to call on the security authorities. Please, all the download Global, order from your favorite restaurant in town and satisfy your cravings. Global, order anything we deliver in minutes. Forms or anything submitted by people in this country, and I'm talking about to Inec and other bodies, I think it's time we should evaluate them. And I think it's also time that we put in our schedule and our laws that we should be able to scrutinize forms that are submitted and make them pass through forensic analysis. Because if we had done that, then we'll be spared all of this. This morning, I feel for the Tinubu administration because this is another big blight on the Tinubu administration. And if proper scrutiny was done, this will not be the case. So, this has happened. As regards to borrowing, if my memory serves me right, this year alone we've done about 21 billion. I was seeing another 500 million from Afrexim Bank borrowing. Then this 2-point-something billion that we're doing now. But this is the same government that says that all our savings from subsidy will be spent on infrastructure and all of that. And if the numbers serves us right and the revenues we are making as they claim, why are we going through this rigmarole of borrowing? But what is even shocking me the most is what they want to use this particular borrowing for. And please, experts in this field, correct me. I don't know anything. Correct me. Part of that money is to be used for the Eurobonds that are maturing. And I wonder, why are we borrowing to reflate Eurobonds that are maturing at a time where we claim we are doing well on our reserves? We're having about $42 billion in our reserves.
What we are faced with that Nigerians can legitimately complain about is that this culture of borrow, borrow, borrow. Every time they say we are borrowing. Now, how many times have we had the story of borrowing this year alone? What the critics are saying, 2 points. One, that when you borrow, the borrowing should be for specific results. Borrowing should be tied to revenue. If you are borrowing for projects.
Oh, my dear listeners, in fact, a lot of injustice has really happened in this very administration, if you must agree with me. See all the nonsensical that this very administration has actually introduced to this very country. Is it not enough for Nigerians to say no to this very man? Is there not enough? Anyway, make them not talk say the Lord TV you don't carry come again. Yes, you understand, because I'm still running away from community guidelines from YouTube. Alright, so please, my dear listener, I'm not going to help share this video. May they see this injustice and this evil that this very administration has actually brought. Yakub, go on. But in your next word, if you see people like Bola Tinubu, you go run, you go Ärrést. I'm telling you, you go Ärrést. And this is a warning to others that are still doing things with such a person. Please, make una help share this video, make it go viral. Thank you.